Hey, it's Claire. Welcome back to my channel. So today what I thought would be really fun to do is basically go through all of my happy planner stuff I have. So I've had a couple years where I did happy planners. So I had this one, and I also had this one here in terms of my covers, and then I also have this cover here with the cat. So this is the one I'm going to use. So it's been a few years since I've used the happy planner stuff, but I was just thinking I have so many of like the inserts and different pages that are just sitting not being used. So what I'm going to do is actually go through my happy planner stuff, and I'm going to put together not so much a planner but like a little bit of a notebook goal setting kind of thing that I can use as I'm building out my 2025 goals. And just to be able to have all of my inserts kind of within a single planner and to be able to actually make it functional and usable. I have ordered a couple planners that are coming in that I'll be able to pick up when I go to the mainland at Christmas. And so this will just be kind of, like I said, goal setting, kind of envisioning the future, brainstorming, a little bit of a messy kind of brain dump space that I can centralize everything in terms of my goals for life, in terms for my business, personal, all of that type of stuff. Okay, so to start, I've got this little bin here. The main thing that we're going for in here is to pull out some of the happy planner rings. And then we just need to pick a color. So this is the cover that I'm going to be using as I showed. And I think originally these were the rings that were in it. It looks like I'm missing a bunch of rings, and I'm wondering if I have any others. So in terms of the colors I have, a lot of them are not full sets, I don't think. So I'm looking at what I'm going to be putting together. And just in terms of what I have, I essentially have these dotted papers. I've got some kind of daily planning sheets. I've got these that are kind of like check boxes that you can use. Again, just the basic packages. And then I have about that much in here. So all together, we're looking at about a thickness like that. And so I'm trying to figure out if this would be big enough. I think this would be cutting it close. So I will use the bigger ones. And I'm wondering if I were to like alternate these. So how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it'd be 2 of each, and then 3 of the pink. So what I'm going to do first is just put these on the cover. And this is just to figure out kind of the order that I want them in. So I think we're going to do this one, and then this one, and then go into the purple, and then the blue, and then we're going to do the same pattern again. Okay, so I think that's actually pretty cute in terms of just the colors. So the front and the back both have like this floral color. And so looking at I'm just going to put these to the side. And so what I did pull out from the other planner that it has, there's a couple dividers here. And most of the dividers in the happy planner are connected to the actual monthly calendar, which makes sense when you're in the month. So just to show you, like this one for August, you go straight into the month. So you can't really use these unless you were to cover that page, which I might do at another time, but for right now, because I'm just doing goal setting and not necessarily adding in the months, I think I'm okay with just these ones. I've got this little divider here that's got a pocket, and then I've got one more divider here. This is what I was looking for, and that's just got the leaves. So again, I'm going to move the dividers to the side and just go through the inserts that I have. So you'll see that each of these kind of have different designs, but I'm totally okay mix and matching. So I've got these that are just dot grid, which are great. And These came out of this package here. So I've got all of these dot grid pages that I can integrate. And then these ones here were part of the one of the budget packs that they had that you could do. So essentially this has a saving goal and a month at a glance. I did get a financial planner as well. 1, 2, 3. I got 3 of those, and I think I used most of them. I think that's why. This one here, these are old. I'm just going to pull these out and get rid of those, move those to the side. This one just has pencil up here, so I can erase that. That's totally fine. I can still reuse that. And then these ones I really like. These are actual like project goals. So I think what I might do is like for each of the goals have one of these pages. They are double-sided. And then I could potentially add like the dot grid paper behind it into different sections. So in terms of how many I have 2. So in terms of pages, I guess 1 page, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've got 7 of these pages and each one has 2. So that's potentially 14 goals. And in terms of colors, I have mostly green and then I have one of the blue ones. And I think that's because I liked the other colors more, so I probably use those first. I have another divider here. That's just like a plain divider that I can use. I've got more dot grid paper. Add that to my pile. And then I've got these ones here. So these are intended to be classroom checklists. So it's kind of like the Alistair method where you have your items and then I could have dates across the top, or I could have different steps within each of the activities that are standard. So this could be something that I use for, say, if I'm doing a YouTube video, you know, planning, filming, editing, thumbnail, doing the upload to YouTube, so on and so forth. So I am going to use these. I do like these. And they are meant to be 2 pages. So essentially they would go like this. And then you would have the item here. And then you would have all the way across the top. So I will add a few pages of these. And I've actually got like quite a lot of these that I can potentially use. So I don't think I'll use all of these, but I will still put them in the workbook just so that I have them. And then I really like these ones. So these ones are kind of more of a planner base, but I think these are good if I'm having a day where I'm just wanting to do a really productive day of getting through a bunch of stuff on my goals. And essentially one page has priorities, get it done, and then your actual schedule, your gratitude section, and then the back side is all just graph paper. So I have quite a few of these and I'm going to integrate these as well. So that's essentially where we're starting in terms of what we have to put into this little goal setting workbook. So when I'm starting, these are great because you can actually write on them with dry erase markers, which I do have. So if you wanted to put any notes for yourself here, you can actually kind of erase them and update them and all of that. I was going to put these stickers in, but I think because they are so budgeting heavy, I might actually leave those out so that when my budget planner does come, that I'll have these stickers to use in that planner. And so the way that I'm going to do this is I'm going to have a project sheet to start. And essentially, I think what I'm going to do is break these goals up. So the way that I do my goals is I separate them into 4 categories. So I do growth, which is my personal development, my personal growth in terms of my learning, all of that. I do wealth, so that's anything to do with anything money related. So my career, it could be bringing in more money, it could be savings goals, any kind of financial goals or plans that I have. I do the health section, so that's anything to do with mental, physical, spiritual health. And then the last one that I do is happiness, so that's just goals around my happiness, my mental state, and making sure that I have things here that are just joy focused in terms of quality of life. So I'm curious if I have enough dividers to kind of do that. And I think I actually might. So what I am going to do is organize these in a way that the tabs make sense for the order that they're in. And I think I might have to flip some of these. So we've got this Life is Lovely, because these two are the same. They're going to be from different planners, so that's probably why. Or from the same planner, but just in different sections. So I'm going to do one of them backwards. And so this one needs to be here. They're all in the middle, so that's a shame. Because of what I was planning on doing was, but maybe what I'll do is alternate them. So then I'll do this, this, and then back to the top. So that should be fine. So because I want to have 4 categories, I will also use this one as one of my sections. So I'll have this at the front before the first section, and then I'll have my 3 sections thereafter. And I know I could stack the paper and then put them on, but for some reason I'm not doing that. I'm going to do it a slightly different way. So I'm going to have 4 sections, and then I think I said I had 7 of these. So that basically means that I will have 2 sheets in 3 of them, and then 1 sheet in the last one, which is fine. So if I have wealth, health, growth, and happiness, I will start with just putting 1 in each. I'll put 2 in each of the first 3 sections, and then I'll put 1 in the last section. And then what I'm going to do is, once I go through and actually create my goals, if I need to move one, I will move it at that point. Okay, so I've got 2 goal setting sheets. So I'm going to start with health. So I've got these sheets here of just the bullet point paper. I'm going to put these in. And I'm not going to count and make sure I have equal. I'm just going to put these in, and then if I need to move pages as I'm working through my goals, then I'm totally happy to do that. So because the dot paper is just kind of pretty basic, I'm going to put this behind. I'm going to put a couple of these ahead of that. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put these ones in front of the first goal. And so these will be like in the front section. And the reason I'm doing this is because I'm not necessarily going to do a full day of like plans and only be focused on a single goal. It might involve stuff from different goals. So I'm just going to put these as kind of the shared pages. And then I'll move these if I need to a specific section. So this section here is going to be my wealth section, and what I'm going to pull in is actually these saving goals pages. And so what I'm going to do is focus on using these pages, and then obviously I may have some goals that are not saving space, but this is going to be the section that I only use one of the goal setting sheets because I have these other ones that I can use for my goals. And I may also use specifically the only blue one that I have as a standalone. And so I'll have this here, and then I'm going to put in some dotted paper here. And so just a stack of that behind there. So that's health, wealth, and then we're gonna have a growth section. And we're gonna take 2 of these. I'll take about half of what's left here. And then this last section here is going to be happiness. Yeah, I've got my last 2 pages here. And then I'll pull the last of those. So that's that one done. This is still full, and so I think what I'm going to do is actually add some of these to each section, and I'll do it probably behind the graph paper because I don't think I'm going to use these ones as much as I use the other ones. So as I use these, my plan is to pull them in front of the dotted pages within the section just so that they're more visible in terms of the ones that I already have created. But for now, I think behind the dotted paper definitely makes the most sense for me. And then we've got this back page. All right, so we'll just do a quick flip through. I actually really love the color combination of mixing and matching those ones. This is definitely my favorite color, just being a cat lover. So we're opening up straight to the shared section. So like I said, I put these in the front just so I can pull them out and move them wherever I need them as I need them. And this will just be my kind of heavy focus days where I'm probably mixing and matching from different goals areas. And so I've got a bunch of those, and the divider here will get me into my first section. So the way that I've done it is we've got health first. So I will go through and I'll create my goals. So this is a cool sheet because you can put your goal here, your date that you actually created your goal, the subject, the overview, planning steps, and then action steps and the due dates that you have for each. So for every section except for the wealth, I have 2, which is 4 goals. And then essentially what I can do is I can create anything here that I want in terms of planning or visualization or kind of mind maps or anything like that. So I've got those sheets. And then at the end here, I've got this checklist that I can do. And again, I'll figure out how I want to utilize these, but kind of really excited to kind of get into this. This is the wealth section. So as I mentioned, this is the one that only got one of these pages. So 2 goals in terms of this format. And then I will be able to do my savings goal. So I'll probably write along the top, like what is my goal for? And then what is my target to save each month? And then how do I progress each month? The month at a glance, I don't think I'm going to use, but we'll kind of just leave that there and ignore it for now. Again, I have 3 of these savings goal sheets. So essentially I have spots for 5 goals in the wealth section. For the growth section, again, same thing. So I've got 2 of these pages for goals, dotted grid for any kind of visualization I want to do, maybe in terms of graphs or mind maps, or even just writing out as normal. And then I've got these checklist pages. And then the last section here is happiness. So again, I've got 2 pages for 4 goals and the same dotted paper and the checklist paper. And then that takes us all the way to the back. And as mentioned, you could use dry erase on these. So these are pretty cool. And that is my goal setting workbook complete. I think when people are putting together like random kind of happy planner stuff, it's kind of called Frankensteining, usually when you're doing the planner specifically. So a little bit of a Frankenstein kind of goal setting workbook. But I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope maybe it motivated you to utilize some of your old happy planner sheets that are just sitting idle across your different planners. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel, hit that little notification bell, and I hope you have a beautiful day ahead.